Good morning, students. Today, the topic which we are going to start is animal tissue. Animal tissue is further classified into four categories. First is epithelial tissue. And on the basis of epithelial tissue, further divided into cuboidal epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissue, and squamous epithelial tissue. So, cuboidal epithelial is cube shaped, columnar epithelial is column shaped, and squamous epithelium is flat. It's like a pavement. This is also known as pavement epithelial, and it looks like a pavement as we have on the road. Then we have connective tissue, and connective tissue is divided into 6 parts, and it's easy to learn. Just remember a name of my beautiful friend, Saftal. This is just for learning. I don't have any friend like Saftal. S for skeletal tissue, A for areolar tissue, F for fluid tissue, T for tendon, A for adipose tissue, and L for ligaments. This is just for learning, okay? The next is muscular tissue, and muscular tissue on the basis of shape and structure, there are 3 types. One is striated tissue, second is unstriated tissue, and the third is cardiac tissue. Cardiac tissue are tissue which are exclusively present in heart. And the last we have nervous tissue. In entire body, the highest amount of tissue is of connective tissue, then muscular tissue, and epithelial form outermost layer of the tissue, and nervous tissue is for sensation. So today the main topic which we are going to understand is that is a epithelial tissue, and we will discuss epithelial tissues, location, function of different kind of epithelial tissue. We will discuss classification of epithelial tissue on the basis of shape also. So just be careful, and if you will listen the lecture carefully, you are able to understand each kind of epithelial tissue. So today's our topic is epithelial animal tissue. Now, what is the meaning of epithelial? Epi means outermost and thelial means grow. The tissue which is the outermost and helps to grow, that is the epithelial tissue. This is the epithelial tissue. This is the outermost layer of any of the organ. And epithelial tissue grow on certain other tissue. Below them there is a layer of connective tissue. It could be of any shape, but I have drawn like this only. And this is another layer of epithelial tissue. Okay. So epithelial tissue, epi means above, thelial means the tissue which grow on the another tissue, that is epithelial tissue, and below the epithelial tissue generally connective tissues are present. Okay. Now first understand what are the different characteristics or basic characteristics of epithelial tissue. Number 1, they are compactly arranged, or there is no or very less intercellular space. Compactly arranged, back to back, corner to corner. If we have a top view of any epithelial tissue, so they looks like this, hexagonal in shape, and they are arranged corner to corner. There is no intercellular space. Your skin is made up of epithelial tissue. Just give a thought, if epithelial tissue have intercellular space, so when you will dance in rain, that that time the water can enter in your body and your body can swell or you become wet, but it's not like that. Okay, because there is no intercellular space. Okay, this is a top view. If we see from the side or lateral view हम देखें, then they are arranged like a pavement. Pavement means the road. If you have noticed, on road there is a certain kind of tiles arrangement are there. Pavement होता है area पर, and that pavement is because of that is a very compactly arranged. In the same way, they are very compactly arranged. Okay. So this is the basic characteristics of any of the epithelial tissue. They consist of nucleus. They have nucleus. Number 3, they are arranged on a layer that is called basement membrane. Arranged on basement membrane. Now, what is the basement membrane and how they are arranged on basement membrane? Look here. This is your epithelial tissue. Okay, this is the nucleus, and this is present below this. There is a matrix. This is a acellular layer. This is a basement layer, which is acellular. In biology, A means absent, cellular means cell. Means this is not a layer which is made up of cell. This is a layer which is made up of a jelly-like substance that is called basement membrane. Now, what is the role of basement membrane? Let's understand here. Before that, you have to notice that epidermis is avascular in nature. Now, what do you mean by avascular? A means absent. Vascular means conducting tissue. And what is a conducting tissue in plants? That is a xylem and phloem. What is a conducting tissue in animals? That is a blood. So they have a conducting tissue that is called blood or lymph. And this blood and lymph is not present in epithelial tissue. Now the question is, if blood and vessels are not present or lymph is not present, how they are getting nourishment? Because blood is only a tissue which can supply oxygen. Blood is only a tissue which can supply nutrients. So how they got blood nutrients? They got nutrients from this basement membrane. They got the nutrients through this basement membrane. So this is very important question. Okay. Even in examination of NEET or any of the Olympiad, this is an important question. Now, the next question is, they are compactly arranged, they have nucleus, they are arranged on basement membrane, they are avascular and they don't have no intercellular space. So these are the basic characteristics of any of the epithelial tissue. Besides that, if we see, sometimes they may have cilia-like structure. Sometimes they may have cilia-like structure. So this cilia-like structure helps to movement of certain particles. वो अभी हम जब डिटेल में करेंगे, then we will discuss. Now, what are the functions of epithelial tissue? Now, these epithelial tissue can help in absorption of substances. They can help in exchange of material, like exchange of gases or exchange of nutrients or the waste material. They can help definitely, as they are the outermost structure. They provide protection, and sometimes they could be secretory. So we will discuss each and every type of epithelial tissue, and we will discuss their function also. Okay. So if we go for the basic classification पर यदि हम जाएं, then we can have different kind of epithelial tissue. Okay, so let's make 4 columns. First kind of epithelial tissue is squamous epithelial tissue. Now, what is squamous epithelium? Squamous means tile-like or flat. Okay, These are tissues which are flat in shape and they are very thin. They consist of nucleus in center and this layer is arranged on a jelly-like substance that is called basement membrane. I am not going to label here because already we have done that labeling. So what is the characteristics? Shape, structure. Here we will write down their location. And here we will write down their function. Okay. So what is the structure? They are flat in shape, nucleus in center, and thin. They are also thin. Okay. Now they are also arranged on basement membrane. Where they are located and how they help in the function. See, suppose this is a solid structure in your body, any of the organ, then epithelium tissue is present on around the entire organ. This side, this side, this side, this side, this side, this side. And suppose if it is a hollow organ, then it is present on this side and it is present on this side also. Okay. So they have a free surface. They have a free surface from this side and they have a free surface from inner side also. So this is the important feature of epithelial tissue, that they consist of free spaces also. Now what is the location of squamous epithelial tissue? I told you they are flat and they are thin and they are generally present on those areas where certain exchange of material occurs. For example, they are present in alveoli. Now how they are present on alveoli? Suppose this is one of the alveoli. What is alveoli? Alveoli is a air-sac structure in lungs. Okay, this is made up of flat or squamous epithelial. As it is very thin, it helps in exchange of gases easily. Oxygen can diffuse easily and carbon dioxide can diffuse out easily because of this squamous epithelial tissue. Similarly, they are present on blood vessels also or capillaries. How they are present on capillaries? This is some of the blood capillaries. Or inside this blood capillaries, there is a squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, because they are very thin, they are flat, so they can exchange nutrients, hormones, waste material easily. But what you have to learn here, the epithelial tissue which is present in case of blood vessel, that is called endothelium. Endothelium. Okay. So second is they are present on blood vessel, and in case of blood vessel they are known as endothelium. So what is their function? Definitely, if it is an outer structure, they will provide protection and they help in absorption or exchange of material. Okay. Now the next type of epithelial tissue is cuboidal shaped. What is cuboidal epithelial tissue? As it is clear from the word, it is cube shaped. When we have a lateral view, it looks like a square, but if we have a top view, then we can have the structure like this. Okay, nucleus is in center and they are also arranged on a acellular layer, that is a basement layer. Okay, now if you want to see how cuboidal epithelial are arranged, definitely they are also arranged back to back. There is no intercellular space, their nucleus is present, they have free surface, this is their free surface. Have you noticed that we have two kind of pav when we eat pav bhaji? So along with the pav bhaji, we eat pav also. If you have noticed the packet of pav, there are two kind of pav. One is in which we have a six separate pav, which we use generally to make burger, and another pack of pav in which all the six pav are connected with each other. There is no intercellular space. They are very compactly arranged. In the similar way, our cuboidal epithelial is arranged in our body. Okay, so cuboidal epithelial characteristics are they are cube shaped, nucleus again in center, okay. Now all that similar function they have, basement membrane is there, free spaces are there. Where they are present, they are generally present on gonads. Now what is gonads? Like testes, ovary. Okay, so what is their function? In testes there is a specific tubule, that is a seminiferous tubule, which helps in the formation of sperm. Okay, so they are generally present in those areas where some formation is required. So in testes they are required for the formation of sperm. In ovaries they helps in the synthesis of ovum, and for that there is a cuboidal epithelial tissue is there. So they helps in the formation as well as they provide protection. Now sometimes this cuboidal epithelial tissue may contain some thread-like structure or hair-like structure that is called ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue. This entire structure is ciliated, let's draw here, ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue. Ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue consists of hair-like structure that is called cilia. Now what is the function of this ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue? They help in the movement of certain substances, like they are present on trachea. This is our trachea. Suppose this is our trachea. So in trachea we have cuboidal epithelial tissue, and this cuboidal epithelial tissue helps in the movement of dust particle out the body. Okay, so they are present in trachea also, or respiratory tract. So they helps in that if it is a cuboidal epithelial, ciliated cuboidal epithelial, so they helps in movement of particles. Okay, similarly they are present in nephron, that is in a kidney tubule also, and here there also they helps in the movement of certain waste material. Okay, similarly we have another kind of epithelial tissue, that is a columnar epithelial tissue, and columnar epithelial tissue is column shaped, means they are taller than broader. They are pillar-like structure. Nucleus is on the base. Nucleus is on the base. Again, they are arranged on a basement membrane. They are also not having any intercellular space. So, pillar-like. This is very important question. Name the cell which is pillar-like. Name the cell which is taller than broader. Okay. जो tall ज़्यादा है, that is a columnar shape. Nucleus is towards the base, is in base. Okay. Now columnar epithelial tissue is basically, because they are column shaped, they have a more surface area. They are generally present in stomach and intestine, where they are required for the absorption of different kind of food. So generally present in stomach and intestine, and their main function is absorption of food, because these are the organs where the maximum absorption takes place. In intestine we absorb, small intestine we absorb nutrients, in large intestine we absorb water and all. Now, again, this columnar shaped epithelial tissue may have cilia-like structure, and this kind of columnar ciliated columnar epithelial tissue, it is present in, this is ciliated columnar epithelial tissue. It is present in fallopian tube or oviduct, where it helps in the movement of ovum. Ovum is a non-motile structure, it cannot move its own. So it helps in the movement of ovum from ovary to fallopian tube, and then from further fertilization it is there, and then later it helps to movement of embryo towards the uterus also. So this is a ciliated columnar epithelial tissue which is present in fallopian tube. We will discuss one more type of epithelial tissue, and for that I think I have to rub this entire table. Now, sometimes this columnar epithelial tissue may have, this is a columnar epithelial tissue arranged on basement membrane, nucleus is on the base, and they can have folded ends, and these folded ends are known as border end. Border जिससे बनाते हैं, and this border end also helps in absorption of food, and they are also present in large intestine and small intestine, and it is required for the absorption. How they are adapted for absorption? These folds can increase their surface area, and because of this increased surface area, they are able to absorb nutrients and whatever we have to absorb in a particular organ. There they helps in absorption of material. Similarly, there is another kind of cuboidal or columnar epithelium. It is possible in both of the cases. We have a glandular epithelial tissue. Now, what is glandular epithelial tissue? This is nothing. It could be cuboidal epithelial tissue or it could be columnar epithelial tissue. So let's have, this is a cuboidal epithelial tissue. Nucleus is in center, and this is columnar epithelial tissue. Nucleus is in base. Now what will happen? They will form a gland-like structure, okay, and this gland-like structure, that helps in secretion of something. It could be enzyme, it could be hormones, it could be mucus. This is specifically goblet cells which is present in stomach. It helps in secretion of mucus. It helps in secretion of mucus. So these are the glandular tissue which are the derivative of either a cuboidal epithelial tissue or a columnar epithelial tissue. So just revise from your book, and there is a table, and from table what you have to learn basically, I hope the shape could be clear very easily with under their name and their location and their function. Okay, location is very specific and you have to learn that location. So squamous epithelium flat pavement जैसे बनाते हैं, that's why they are known as pavement epithelial tissue. Columnar column shaped pillar like, and cuboidal they are cube shaped, and ciliated epithelial tissue. Ciliated epithelial tissue could be columnar in shape or they could be cuboidal in shape, but they have cilia-like structure at their free end, and because of this cilia-like structure they are able to absorb certain they are able to move the particles. ये particles को, like in trachea they helps in the movement of dust particles. In case of fallopian tube they helps in the movement of ovum and all. Okay, structure is clear. More or less every epithelial tissue is present on basement membrane. Basement membrane is acellular membrane. Basically it is a jelly-like substance and it provides nourishment. One important feature, that is they are avascular, means they does not consist of any kind of the blood vessel. आप सोच रहे होंगे कि how it is possible they are not having blood vessel? when we have some injury on our skin, then we sometimes we have bleeding also, sometimes we don't have bleeding. Now listen, suppose if you scratch it very badly, you scratch it, okay, or you fell down somewhere, and your skin is injured, or sometime you take out some skin from this part or from this part, okay, these parts, when you remove skin from here, when you scratch something by mistake or genuinely for you are removing your dad's skin, you don't bleed, because there is no blood vessels are present, there is no blood vessels. But when you injure deeply, then connective tissue consists of blood vessels, and then only you bleed. So it's very clear that we do not have any kind of blood vessels in epithelial tissue. Revise this entire page number 19 in new books, and watch this video. Still, if you have any doubt, you are most welcome to take your doubt, and till then, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.